Tree wouldn't have ever known Brother Rush was a ghost if there hadn't been a little room in the house. The little room was no bigger than a walk-in closet. They couldn't get a bunk bed in the room, it was so small. She and Dab had rooms with big double beds. They weren't great large rooms, but they were very comfortable. She would never call the closet room a room. You wouldn't want to show it to somebody as a room. It was more like the end of a room, like an alcove made too small with a folding door across it to hide the mistake. Dab said once that the little room could be a walk-in closet. What did that mean? Tree didn't know. She had somehow missed that bit of knowledge. She couldn't get it that you could walk inside a closet to get your clothes out. Then you walked out of it again. It just didn't make any sense to her. The walk-in closet room was small. They stored stuff in it. They put what they didn't need there, or the things they would someday have fixed. "Mavai be having some extra time, and we gon' get that stuff fixed," Tree would say. There was a wide, round table in the little room. It held all kinds of things, a broken television, pieces of things, magazines from ages ago that no one had thrown away. Tree discovered coloring books that she had colored in when she was quite a small child. Now, when she had nothing to do, she would go in the room and have a relaxed look-see through some of the magazines. 6 months might go by before Mavai would think to buy new magazines. Then Tree would tell her to buy 17 and Ebony. From 17, she found out how the best kind of girls were supposed to dress, act, and think. She read Ebony because it had lots of pictures, and she loved to see gorgeous-looking black folks doing well. The table was stacked with about everything you could think of: magazines, dusty comic books. There was the television, part of a chair, its soiled canvas seat ripped, half of a black telephone, a cardboard box of old tired-out shoes. Tree would handle her old shoes one time and marvel at how small they'd become, knowing they hadn't become small, but that was always the way she thought about them in relation to herself. They had become small. A lot of junk stuff, and some nice tiny football players from some toy game in wonderful poses of running and tackling, a few quarterbacks throwing, and a kicker kicking. Some of the players had their faces and hands painted white, some were painted black. They had belonged to Dab at one time, probably. Who you belong to now? Tree wondered at them. She was fond of Tiny them. Likely she had played with them too. She felt she knew them, but she didn't remember. One day she and Dab had a mind to clean off the big round table in the little room. They did it one weekend, taking their time. It was done for her, so the table would be her play table and the room her playroom. She needed the private space better than her bedroom, different, because she had what was called a ream of white paper, more than 400 separate sheets, and she liked to draw. She could draw 2 to 6 pictures a day using the paper from the ream. Now she could draw at the table. She was careful of the amount of paper she used. Ream wouldn't last forever. Who knew when someone would remember to get her another? Mavai got it somewhere. Who knew what Saturday Ma would come home and be in the right mood for Tree to ask for more paper? One of the pictures she drew was for herself, alone, and the rest for whoever had to see what she was up to in the room. She didn't talk about her drawings. Who could she talk to about them? They weren't anything too special, just people and houses and trees, windows with curtains, lots of space, families. She forgot most of the drawings as soon as she'd done them. The one for herself she dated and put her name at the top, put it away in her room. Didn't even think about it. But she had a record of many months of pictures. Sometimes Dab came in the little room. He would pull at his hair and his skin. He would be looking at everything in the house. When there was nothing left for him to see, he would come into the walk-in closet little room. He would look at it. This happened, too, when there were no girls in bed. Standing there looking all around at the stacks and stacks of junk, like he had lost something. Then he would actually feel the absence of something the way Tree did, as if the painful lack were a living, breathing force. So it was the two of them had cleaned off the table for her. And that was why she had found out. The cleaned table, Brother Rush. She came home from school. Dab came home and quietly went to his room, closed the door. Maybe he was by himself. Tree wasn't about to go knocking on his door to find out. She was home safe. It was Friday.